Kesari is a 2019 Indian Hindi language historical action war film written and directed by Anurag Singh. It was jointly produced by Karan Johar, Arun Bhatia, Hero Yes Johar, Apurva Mehta, and Sunir Khetarpal under the banners of Dharma Production, Cape of Good Films, Azure Entertainment, and G Studios. The film stars Akshay Kumar with Parineeti Chopra, Mir Sarwar, Vans Bhardwaj, Jaspreet Singh, Vivek Shaini, Vikram Kochhar, and Rakesh Sharma is in supporting roles. It follows the events leading to the Battle of Saragadi, a battle between 21 soldiers of the 36th Sikhs of the British Indian Army and 10,000 Afridi and Orkajal Pashtun tribesmen in 1897. Initially planned as a production collaboration between Salman Khan and Johar, with Kumar starring in the lead role. Kesari was announced in October 2017 with Kumar and Johar reprising their responsibilities. Khan later quit the project. Chopra was cast as the wife of Kumar's character. Principal photography for the film began in January 2018, and Kumar's character. Principal photography for the film began in January 2018 and concluded in December. The soundtrack was composed by Tanishq Bakshi, Arko Bravo Mukherjee, Chirantan Bhatt, Jasbir Jassi, Gurmo, and Jaseen Royal, with lyrics written by Kumar, Manoj Munathasir, Kunwar Juneja, and Bakshi. Produced on a budget of rupees 80 crore. The film was distributed internationally by G Studios. The film was released in India during the Holi festival on 21 March 2019. It received positive reviews from critics. It had a good start at the box office, while the opening morning collection was affected by Holi-related celebrations. The film grossed over rupees 100 crore worldwide in its opening weekend. It grossed over 207.9 crore worldwide, becoming one of the highest grossing Bollywood films of 2019. Havaldar Ishar Singh is a part of the Sikh Regiment of British Indian Army posted at Gulistan Fort along the Indian Afghan border. A British officer is jealous of him because of his superior fighting skills and thinks little of the native Indians, deeming them to be cowards. While just returning from a border patrol, the troop sees a group of Afghan tribesmen led by a mullah named Sadullah trying to kill a married Afghan woman who does not acknowledge her forced marriage. Ishar Singh intervenes, fights off the tribesman, and rescues the woman by killing her husband, thereby disobeying his immediate superior. Once the troop reaches the base fort, the British officer reports Ishar Singh's disobedience to his commanding officers, who sits at the nearby Lockhart fort. The Afghans then attack the Gulistan fort but are stopped by Ishar Singh, who fights valiantly, killing many Afghans. He is punished and transferred to Saragadi fort that sits between Gulistan and Lockhart fort and enables communication between them. When Ishar Singh's transfers orders are issued, he travels to Saragadi fort and upon arriving there finds the troop in a mess. He enforces discipline in the troop by punishing all to live without food for an entire week. The troop initially is furious but later respect Ishar Singh on learning that he too was living without food. Meanwhile, Sadullah forms an alliance between the Afghan tribes and motivates them to mount an attack on the Indian territories as a unified force. Ishar Singh and Lal Singh go to a nearby village in search of their informant, who hadn't reported to them for over 3 days. The British commanding officer, Colonel John Hoganton from Lockhart Fort, sees the Afghan forces marching towards Saragadi and alerts Ishar. Ishar and his battalion find some 10,000 tribesmen encircling the fort. The mullah, with the entire Afghan army at his back, kills the woman Ishar Singh had rescued earlier in front of the Saragadi fort. Despite the commanding officer's orders to abandon the fort and flee, Ishar Singh and his men decide to fight till their death. Despite the commanding officer's orders to abandon the fort and flee, Ishar Singh and his men decide to fight till their death. Ishar Singh deploys his force and position. Khuda Dad volunteers to fight, but Ishar Singh asks him to instead provide water to the injured soldiers, including the Afghans. The Afghans initiate the battle, and Bhagwan Singh is the first to be killed. Gurmukh Singh, being an inexperienced soldier, is unable to fight, due to which Ishar Singh asks him to keep the co updated regarding the battle and decides to prolong the battle so as to prevent the Afghans from advancing to the Gulistan and Lokhart forts. As the battle to prolong the battle so as to prevent the Afghans from advancing to the Gulistan and Lokhart forts. As the battle prolongs, Lal Singh alone fights the Afghan outside the fort and dies while asking one of the sepoys to close the gate to the fort. Meanwhile, the Afghan managed to destroy the back wall of the fort using explosive. Ishar Singh remembers his wife Jivani one last time after removing the stripes from his uniform, that starts fighting the Afghans with a red hot sword before he gets fatally stabbed. Saidullah kills Khuda Dad before himself being stabbed to death by Ishar while trying to remove his turban. Ishar's bravery impresses an Afghan chieftain who orders his men not to touch any Sikh's turban. One of the Afghan chieftains named Gul Badshah ordered the signaling post to be lit up so Gurmukh Singh's painful screams can be heard as a consolation as the Afghans set the post on fire. Gurmukh Singh emerges with his body on fire. He chants Bole Sonehal Sat Sri Akal thrice, grabs Gul Badshah and triggers the grenades attached to his body, resulting in a huge explosion. The shout echoes and reaches both the nearby forts. The Sikh soldiers present there also start chanting in the name of their Guru. The surviving Afghans loot the fort and eventually set it on fire. The British Parliament honors the martyrs with a 2-minute silence and posthumously awards them the Indian Order of Merit. At that time, the highest gallantry award an Indian soldier could receive, with a Victoria Cross being the corresponding one. In 2017, Salman Khan and Karan Johar announced that they would be producing a film together based on the Battle of Sara Gadi, starring Akshay Kumar in the lead role. Media reports later speculated Khan left the project in favor of similarly themed film starring Ajay Devgan, and in October that year, Johar and Kumar announced a statement about their collaboration on the film, that Khan had quit the film and that it would be titled Kesari. Parineeti Chopra was confirmed for a minor role as the deceased wife of Kumar's character. Principal photography began on 5 January 2018 and finished on 31st December 2018. The film was produced on a budget of rupees 80 crore, 11 million US dollar. The music of the film is composed by Tanishq Bagchi, Bravo Mukherjee, Chirantan Bhatt, Jasbir, Jassi, Gurmo and Jason Royal, with lyrics written by Kumar, Manoj Muntasir, Kunbar Juneja and Tanishq Bagchi. Kumar released Kesari's first look poster on 12 September 2018 through Twitter. Another poster was released India's Republic Day, 26 January 2019. The film's theatrical poster was released on 11 February 2019. The following day, Dharma Productions released 3 videos titled Glimpses of Kesari on their YouTube channel detailing the film's production. A second theatrical release poster for Kesari was released on 20 February 2019. The official trailer of the film was released on Dharma Production. Released 3 videos titled Glimpses of Kesari on their YouTube channel detailing the film's production. A second theatrical release poster for Kesari was released on 20 February 2019. The official trailer of the film was released on Dharma Productions' YouTube channel the next day. The first song of the film, Sanu Candy, was released on 27 February 2019. The second one, Teri Mitti, was released on 15th March 2019 and the full album was released on 18 March 2019. Kesari was released worldwide during the Indian Holi Festival on 21 March 2019. It had a release on 4,200 screens worldwide, 2,600 screens of which were in India and the rest overseas. Kesari was made available as VOD on Prime Video in May 2019. Rotten Tomatoes awarded the film a score of 31% out of 100. Rachit Gupta of the Times of India gave Kesari 4 stars out of 5, praising its technical brilliance, intricate writing, and thundering performances. Taran others gave it 4 stars and felt it chronicles a significant chapter from history brilliantly. Nationalism, patriotism, heroism, scale, and soul. Kesari has it all. Writing for Times Now, Gaurang Chauhan rated the film 3.5 stars out of 5 and opened, Kesari is not the best patriotic film or an action film to come out of Bollywood, but it surely is worth the time and money. Bollywood Hungama rated it 4 stars out of 5, remarking, on the whole, Kesari is a brave and inspirational tale of courage, with patriotism and the dramatic battle sequence being the USP of the film. Nandini Ramnath of Scroll.in writes, sluggishly paced until the interval and springing to life only in fits and starts in the second half. Kesari is a poor attempt to revisit a chapter in Indian military history that earned the admiration even of British colonizers. Kesari opened with a collection of rupees 21.6 crore on its first day. The collection of extended weekend of the film is 78.7 crore rupees, which was the highest opening weekend collection of 2019 for Bollywood films released till May. Its domestic gross was 182.30 crore and overseas gross rupees 24.79 crore. It has grossed rupees 207.9 crore worldwide. The film grossed over rupees 100 crore worldwide and its opening weekend. It became the fastest 100 crore earning film in domestic net in 2019 for Bollywood films released till May. It eventually grossed over rupees 200 crore, 28 million US dollar worldwide in its fourth week. The Battle of Saragari was fought before the Tirha campaign on 12 September 1897 between the British Raj and Afghan tribesmen on 12 September 1897. Estimated 12,000 to 24,000 Orkazi and Afridi tribesmen were seen near Gokra at Samana Suk and round Saragadi. Cutting off Fort Gulistan from Fort Lockhart, the Afghans attacked the outpost of Saragadi where thousands of Afghans swarmed and surrounded the fort, preparing to assault it. The soldiers in the fort, who were all Sikhs and led by Havildar Isar Singh, choose to fight to the death in what is considered by some military historians as one of history's greatest last stands. The post was recaptured 2 days later by another British Indian contingent, the 4th Battalion of the Sikh Regiment of Indian Army commemorates the battle every year on 12 September as another British Indian contingent. The 4th Battalion of the Sikh Regiment of Indian Army commemorates the battle every year on 12 September as Saragadi Day. Saragari was a small village in the border district of Kohat, situated on the Samana Range in present-day Pakistan. On 20 April 1894, the 36th Sikhs of British Indian Army was created under the command of Colonel J. Koch. It was entirely composed of Jat Sikhs in August 1897. 5 companies of the 36th Sikhs under Lieutenant Colonel John Houghton were sent to the northwest frontier of British India, modern-day Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and were stationed at Samana Hills, Kurags, Sangar, Shatov Dhar, and Saragadi. The British had partially succeeded in getting control of this volatile area, but tribal Pashtuns continued to attack British personnel from time to time. Thus, a series of forts originally built by Ranjit Singh, the ruler of the Sikh Empire, were consolidated. Two of the forts were Fort Lockhart on the Samana range of the Hindu Kush Mountains and Fort Gulistan Suleiman Range, situated a few miles apart. Fort Lockhart is located at 33.556 to 170. Due to the forts not being visible to each other, Saragadi was created midway as a heliographic communication post. The Saragadi post, situated on a rocky ridge, consisted of a small block house with loopholed ramparts and a signaling tower. A general uprising by the Afghans began there in 1897, and between 27 August and 11 September many vigorous efforts by Pashtuns to capture the forts were thwarted by the 36th Sikhs in 1897. Insurgent and inimical activists had increased, and on 3 and 9 September, Afridi tribesmen allied with the Afghans attacked Fort Gulistan. Both the attacks were repulsed, and relief column from Fort Lockhart, on its return trip, reinforced the signaling detachment positioned at Saragari, increasing its strength to 3 non-commissioned officers (NCOs) and 18 other ranks (ORS). Details of the Battle of Saragari are considered fairly accurate because Gurmukh Singh signaled events to Fort Lockhart by heliograph as they occurred. Around 9 p.m., approximately 6,000 to 10,000 reached the signaling post at Saragari. Sepoy Gurmukh Singh signals to Colonel Houghton, situated in Fort Lockhart, that they are under attack. Houghton states he cannot send immediate help to Saragari. The soldiers in Saragari decide to fight to the last to prevent the enemy from reaching the forts. Sepoy Bhagwan Singh is the first soldier to be killed, and Nek Lal Singh is seriously wounded. Nek Lal Singh and Sepoy Jiva Singh reportedly carry the body of Bhagwan Singh back to the inner layer of the post. The Afghans break a portion of the wall of the picket. Houghton signals that he has estimated that there are between 10,000 and 14,000 Pashtuns attacking Saragari. The leaders of the Pashtun forces reportedly make promises to the soldiers to entice them to surrender. Reportedly, 2 determined attempts are made to rush open the gate but are unsuccessful. Later, the wall is breached. Thereafter, some of the fiercest hand-to-hand fighting occurs. In an act of outstanding bravery, Havaldar Ishar Singh orders his men to fall back into the inner layer, whilst he remains to fight. However, This is breached, and all but one of the defending soldiers are killed, along with many of the Pashtuns. Sepoy Gurmukh Singh, who communicated the battle to Houghton, was the last surviving Sikh defender. He is stated to have killed 20 Afghans, the Pashtuns having to set fire to the post to kill him. As he was dying, he was said to have yelled repeatedly the Sikh battle cry, Bole So Nihal, Sat Sri Akal. One will be blessed eternally who says that God is the ultimate truth. Having destroyed Saragari, the Afghans turned their attention to Fort Gulistan, but they had been delayed too long, and reinforcements arrived there in the night of 13 to 14 September before the fort could be captured. The Pashtuns later admitted that they had lost about 180 killed and many more wounded during the engagement against the 21 Sikh soldiers, but some 600 bodies are said to have been seen around the reunited posts. When the relief party arrived, however, the fort had been retaken on 14 September by the use of intensive artillery fire, which may have caused some casualties. The total casualties in the entire campaign, including the Battle of Saragari, numbered around 4,800. The weapons given and used by the Indian troops were of an older generation compared to the small arms issued to British troops. This was intentionally done after the Indian Mutiny of 1857 to prevent any further mutinies and uprisings from getting out of hand. The Afghans used the original and copy of Martini Henry rifles. The Martini Henry was copied on a large scale by Northwest Frontier Provenance gunsmiths. The chief manufacturers were the various Adam Khail Afridi who lived around the Khyber Pass. The Khyber Pass gunsmiths first acquired examples of the various British service arms during 19th century British military expeditions in the Northwest Frontier, which they used to make copies. The inscription of commemorative tablet reads, "The Government of India have caused these tablets to be erected to the memory of the 21 non-commissioned officers and men of the 36th Sikh Regiment of the Bengal Infantry, whose names are engraved below as a perpetual record of the heroism shown by these gallant soldiers who died at their posts in the defense of the fort of Saragari on the 12th September 1897, fighting against overwhelming numbers, thus proving their loyalty and devotion to their sovereign, the Queen Empress of India, and gloriously maintaining the reputation of the Sikhs for unflinching courage on the field of battle." The 21 Sikh non-commissioned officers and soldiers who died in Battle of Saragari were from the Mahazar region of Punjab and were posthumously awarded the Indian Order of Merit at the time of highest gallantry award which an Indian soldier could receive. The corresponding gallantry award was the Victoria Cross. The award is equivalent to today's Paramveer Chakra awarded by the President of India. The names of the 21 recipients of the Gallantry Award are Sepoy Ram Singh. The epic poem Khalsa Bahadur is in memory of the Sikhs who died at Saragadi. The battle has become iconic of Eastern military civilization, the British Empire's military history and Sikh history. The modern Sikh regiment of the Indian Army continues to commemorate the Battle of Saragari on 12 September each year as the Regimental Battle Honours Day. To commemorate the men, the British built two Saragari Gurudwaras, one in Amritsar, very close to the main entrance of the Golden Temple, and another in Firozpur Cantonment in the district that most of the men hailed from. The Indian military, and particularly the Indian Army, has been pushing for the battle to be taught in India's school. They want it taught due to the heroism shown by the Indian soldiers to act as inspiration for young children. There were articles like these printed in the Punjab's longest established newspaper, the Tribune, in 1999. The military action at Saragari is taught to students the world over and particularly to students in France. Although there seems to be no evidence for this claim, it is not, for example, on France's national school curriculum. The news was enough to provoke political debate, and the battle has been taught in schools in Punjab since 2000. The decision to include the battle story in the school curriculum was taken last year during a public rally presided over by the Punjab Chief Minister, Mr. Prakash Singh Badal. Following this, the state government had issued a notification that the battle story should be included in the school curriculum from the session. There had been a constant demand from the Sikh regiment and various ex-servicemen's associations that the battle be included in the school curriculum. A similar request had also been put forward to Mr. Badal during the battle's state-level centenary celebrations at Firozpur in 1997. A subsequent letter sent to the Punjab government by the Saragari Memorial and Ethos Promotion Forum had also argued the state government by the Saragari Memorial and Ethos Promotion Forum had also urged the state government that the battle has many inspiring lessons for children. On hearing the acts of valor, the British Parliament had then risen in unison to pay homage to the fallen soldiers. Saraghadi Day is a Sikh military commemoration day celebrated on 12 September every year to commemorate the Battle of Saraghadi. Sikh military personnel and civilians commemorate the battle around the world. Every year on 12 September, all units of the Sikh regiment celebrate Saraghadi Day every year as a regimental battle honors day. The first recorded public discourse on Saraghadi was delivered by Viscount Lord Slim in 2001 when he delivered the annual Portraits of Courage lecture at the Imperial War Museum. This was hosted by the Maharaja Dulip Singh Centenary Trust in May 2002. The Prince of Wales inaugurated the Jawans to Generals exhibition, which featured a section on Saraghadi. The exhibition successfully toured the UK and was seen by over 1 lakh visitors. Saraghadi was introduced back into the UK by writer and filmmaker Jai Singh Sohal and the British Army with the launch of the book Saraghadi, The Forgotten Battle in 2013 at Old College, Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst. It has since been commemorated each year on its Battle Honour Day by the British Armed Forces. 2014, the commemoration also took place at Sandhurst at the Indian Army Memorial Room. In 2015, it took place at the Honourable Artillery Company in London, where it is also due to take place in 2016. Various senior ministers and armed forces generals have paid tribute to Sikh service by mentioning the story of Saraghadi. In April 2016, the Defense Secretary Michael Fallon, MP, made mention as a special Vaisakhi event at the Ministry of Defense. Various senior ministers and armed forces generals have paid tribute to Sikh service by mentioning the story of Saraghadi. In April 2016, the Defense Secretary Michael Fallon, MP, made mention as a special Vaisakhi event at the Ministry of Defense. In June 2016, the Chief of the General Staff, Sir Nick Carter, did the same at a special British Sikh Association dinner. The battle has frequently been compared to the Battle of Thermopylae, where a small Greek force faced a large Persian army under Xerxes in 480 BC. In both cases, a small defending force faced overwhelming odds, fighting to the last man and inflicting an extremely disproportionate numbers of fatalities on the attacking force. In September 2017, Saragari: The True Story, a documentary by UK-based journalist filmmaker Jay Singh Sohal was screened at National Memorial Arboretum in Staffordshire to mark the 120th anniversary of the epic Frontier Battle. A TV series 21, Surferos Saragari 1897 aired on Discovery Jeet from 12 February 2018 to 11 May 2018, starring Mohit Raina, Mukul Dev and Balraj Singh Khera. As of December 2017, there are 3 Bollywood films being produced regarding the battle: Sons of Sardar, The Battle of Saragari in July 2016. Ajay Devgan shared a poster of the film, a sequel to Son of Sardar. In August 2017, Devgan stated, "We are working on the script, but it won't happen for another 2 years because of the scale of the project." Battle of Saragari. In August 2016, Randeep Hooda shared the first look on his Twitter page. The film is to be directed by Rajkumar Santoshi, starring Hooda, Vikramjit Virk, and Danny Danjoppa. The film was shelved after the release of Kesari. In March 2019, film titled Kesari, based on the Battle of Saragari, directed by Anurag Singh, starring Akshay Kumar, was released. With regards to speculation about multiple films being made about the battle, Hooda stated, "It is good because there were 21 Sikh heroes in that battle. Each one of them deserved to have a movie made on them. So actually there should be 21 films made on them." Tom Lunsford. The Orcasians were joined by Afridis, swelling their numbers to more than 10,000. Groups of the tribesmen attacked Sangar on the night of September 11. The post was on a high ridge and well fortified, although there were only 44 Sikhs. Troops, the garrison, repulsed the attack. The following morning, the natives attacked Saragari. The garrison numbered 21 Sikhs, led by Havildar Isar Singh. Instead of withdrawing to one of the other posts, the Sikhs decided to remain in an effort to maintain communication between the two forts. Sharma Gautam 1990 retrieved 22 February 2019. A mass attack came on Saragari on September 12 and the 21-strong detachment fought one of the most unequal engagements in the history of warfare. There were fires, onslaughts by the 10,000 Orkazi and Afridi tribesmen. The outnumbered defenders returned the fire in a most determined manner. After a series of abortive attempts, the tribesmen managed to reach the wall of the post by using an ingenious method, effecting a breach. They were face to face with the brave Sikhs, most of whom had been wounded. Tyagi Vidya Prakash 2009 Martial Races of Undivided India, Kalpas Publications, ISBN 2 separate for Gulistan and Lockhart, 10,000 Orkaji and Afridi Lashkars attacked Saragari on September 12, 1897 at daybreak. Lieutenant Colonel J. Houghton, the then commanding officer, took all efforts to hold Saragari. However, the battalion was forced to retreat initially as the enemy repeatedly attacked Saragari. Chand and Das, Tradition and Customs of the Indian Armed Forces, Vision 35, on September 12, 1897. The signal post at Saragari was assailed by about 6,000 tribesmen. The tribesmen casualties were very heavy, and they admitted to have lost 180 killed and many more wounded. The Sikh Courier International Volume 38-42, Sikh Culture, Society of Great Britain, 1998. The tribals later admitted to a figure of 180 dead and many more wounded. Some of the details of the closing phases of the fight were pieced together from the heliograph messages, what could be seen from Fort Lockhart and the tribals. The Frontier War, Daily News, London, 16 September 1897, Sharma Gautam, 1990, retried 22 February 2019. Stuart Jealous, on Afghanistan Plains, the story Britain-Afghan Wars. Yet Mazer, AC, 1900, Life of Luke, Colonel John Houghton. When day broke on the 12th, the Orkaji Afridi Lashkar was seen to be in force near Gogra on the east, at the Samana Suk on the west, and round the Saragadi post, thus severing Gulistan from Fort Lockhart. The total number has been variously estimated at from 12 of to 20,000. It was therefore no longer possible for Colonel Houghton to carry aid to Saragari or Gustan as he had done twice before. The enemy turned the brunt of their attack on the little post of Saragari. Pandey Geeta, India Polo Match Honors 6 1897 Saragari Battle, retrieved 19 July 2012. Rajiv Hari Om Bhatia, born 9 September 1967, known professionally as Akshay Kumar, is an actor, producer, material artist and television personality who works in Bollywood films. In a career spanning over 29 years, Kumar has appeared in over 100 films and has won several awards, including the National Films Award for Best Actor for his performance in Rostam 2016 and 2 Filmfare Award for Ajnabi 2001 and Garam Masala 2005. Kumar is one of the most successful Bollywood actors of all time, having starred in 113 films, 52 of which were commercially successful. He was the first Bollywood actor whose film's domestic net lifetime collection crossed rupees 20 billion, 280 million US dollar by 2013 and 30 billion for 20 million US dollar by 2016. Having done so, he has established himself as one of the prominent actors of Hindi cinema. When he began his acting career in the 1990s, he primarily starred in action films. Later, Kumar also gained famed for his drama, romantic, and comic role. Apart from acting, Kumar has worked as a stunt actor. He has often performed many dangerous stunts in his films, which has earned him the sobriquet Indian Jackie Chan. In 2008, he hosted the show Fear Factor Khatron Ke Khiladi. In 2009, he founded the Hariom Bhatia Entertainment Production Company and Grazing Goat Pictures Production Company in 2012. In 2014, Kumar launched the TV reality show Dare to Dance. He also owns the team Khalsa Warriors in the World Kabaddi League. As of 2019, Kumar was on the Forbes list of the highest paid entertainers in the world. He was the highest paid in India. In 2008, the University of Windsor conferred as honorary doctorate on Kumar in recognition of his contribution to Indian cinema. In 2009, he was awarded the Padma Shri by the Government of India. In 2011, the Asian Awards honored Kumar for his outstanding achievements in cinema. Kumar was born in Amritsar, Punjab, India, to Hariom Bhatia and Aruna Bhatia in a Punjabi family. His father was an army officer from a young age. Kumar was very interested in sports. His father too enjoyed wrestling. He lived and grew up in Delhi's Chandni Chowk, and later he moved to Bombay, present-day Mumbai, when his father left army to become an accountant with UNICEF. Soon his sister was born and the family lived in Koliwada, a Punjabi-dominated area of central Bombay. He received his school education from Don Bosco School. Simultaneously learning karate, he enrolled in Guru Nanak Khalsa College for higher education but dropped out as he was not much interested in studies. He requested his father that he wanted to learn martial arts further, and his father somehow saved money to send him to Thailand. Kumar went to Bangkok to learn martial arts and lived in Thailand for 5 years learning Thai boxing. Kumar also has a sister, Alka Bhatia. When Kumar was a teenager, his father asked him what he aspired to be. Kumar expressed his desire to become an actor. After having obtained a black belt in Taekwondo while in India, he studied martial arts in Bangkok, Thailand, where he learned Muay Thai and worked as a chef and waiter. After Thailand, Kumar went to work in Calcutta, present-day Kolkata, in a travel agency, in Dhaka, in a hotel, and Delhi, where he sold Kundan jewelry upon his return to Bombay. He commenced the teaching of martial arts. During this time, the father of one of his students, himself a model coordinator, recommended Kumar into modeling, which ultimately led to a modeling assignment for a furniture showroom. Kumar effectively made more money within the first day, 2 days of the shooting than in his entire month's salary. Had therefore chose a modeling career path. He worked as an assistant for photographer Jais Sheth for 18 months without payment to shoot his first portfolio. He also worked as a background dancer in various films. One morning, he missed his flight for an ad shoot in Bangalore. Disappointed with himself, he visited a film studio along with his portfolio that evening. Kumar was signed for a lead role by producer Pramod Chakrabarti for the movie Didar. Kumar made his first appearance as the lead actor opposite Rakhi and Shanti Priya in Sogandh 1991. In the same year, he acted in Kishore Vyas directed Dancer, which received poor reviews. The following year, he starred in Abbas Mustan directed suspense thriller Khiladi, widely considered his breakthrough role. His next release was the Raj Sippy directed detective film Mr. Bond, based on James Bond. His last release of 1992 was The Dark. It failed to perform well at the box office. In 1993, he acted in the Keshu Ramsay directed bilingual film Ashant, released in Kannada as Vishnu Vijay, and starring Dr. Vishnuvardhan, Ashwini Bhave, and Ashutosh Rana. All of his films released during 1993, including Dal Ki Baji, Qaeda Qanoon, Waqt Hamara Hai, and Sainik, did not perform well commercially. In 1994, he played a police inspector in two films. Sameer Malkhan directed remake of Hollywood film The Hard Way, Main Khiladi Tu Anari, and Rajiv Rai directed Mahora, which were among the highest grossing films of the year. Later that year, he starred in Yash Chopra produced romance Ye Dil Lagi opposite Kajol. His role in the film earned Kumar his first nomination for Best Actor at the Filmfare Awards and Star Screen Award. During the same year, Kumar also had success with films like Suhag and the low-budget action film Alan. All these achievements promoted Kumar as one of the most successful actors of the year. In 1994, he appeared in 11 feature films. The following year, Kumar played dual role in Umesh Mehra directed action thriller Sabse Bada Khiladi, which was a commercial success. He proved to have success with the Khiladi series, as in the next year he starred in the fourth film of the Khiladi series, Khiladiyon Ka Khiladi, opposite Rekha and Ravina Tandon. The film was a commercial success. During the film's shooting, Kumar was injured. He received treatment in United States. Shubhra Gupta of the Indian Express wrote in a year-end review. It was Akshay Kumar in Khiladiyon Ka Khiladi who packed the aceless, no doubt about it. He shoved his hair back in a slick little ponytail, much like Steven Seagal, wore ankle-length great coats, wrestled with the fearsome Undertaker, and walked away with the film. Kumar played a supporting role in Yash Chopra directed romance Dil To Pagal Hai 1997, co-starring Shah Rukh Khan, Madhuri Dixit and Karishma Kapoor, for which he received his first nomination for the Filmfare Best Supporting Actor award. In the same year, he starred opposite Juhi Chawla in David Dhawan directed comedy Mr. and Mrs. Khiladi, fifth installment of the Khiladi series. Unlike his previous films of the series, it failed commercially. Considerable success, however, came with another dual role in the romantic action film Aflatun. Critic Khalid Muhammad, while critical of the film, approved of Kumar's effort, Akshay Kumar comes to life given something even slightly different to do. He does rise the occasion. His following releases failed commercially, and this caused a setback to his film career. In 1999, Kumar played opposite Twinkle Khanna in International Khiladi. The film turned out to be an average grosser at the box office. He received critical acclaim for his roles in the films Sangharsh and Janwar. Whilst the former did not make a profit at the box office, the latter turned out to be a commercial success and marked his comeback. The following year, Kumar played a supporting role in Yash Chopra. In 2000, Kumar starred in the Priyadarshan directed comedy Hera Fairy alongside Paresh Rawal and Sunil Shetty. The film, which was a remake of Malayalam film Ramji Rao Speaking, became a commercial success and proved to be a turning point in Kumar's career. Hindustan Times noted the film's intense portrayal of the surreality of the human condition. He also starred in the Dharmesh Darshan directed romantic drama Dharkan later that same year. The film performed moderately at the box office. But Kumar was praised for his acting. Radiff.com's review stated that he had proved that he is director's actor and that he has worked hard on his role is apparent. That same year he performed some of his most dangerous stunts in Neeraj Vora directed action thriller Khiladi 420, where he climbed a running plane, stood on top of the plane, flying 1,000 feet in the air, and jumped from the plane onto a hot air balloon. In a later scene, he is also seen being chased by a car, dodging bullets, jumping off buildings, or climbing walls. His character in the film had two names, and his role received mixed reviews. Sukanya Verma wrote negative roles and Akshay Kumar don't go hand in hand. Akshay is ridiculously over the top and irritating to the core. However, he manages a decent performance as the sober and soft view Anand. Padma Raj near off screen, however, believed it was the best performance of his career. His first release in 2001 was Sunil Darshan directed drama Ek Rishta, The Bond of Love. Kumar was praised for his performance in the film. Next, he played a negative role in the Abbas Mustan directed film Ajnabi. While reviewing the film of Radiff.com, Sarita Tanwar termed Kumar the surprise package of the film. She added, "What he was in total The film won him critical acclaim as well as his first Filmfare Award for Best Villain and IIFA Award 2002 for performances in a negative role. His first release in 2002 was Ramesh Darshan directed romantic drama हाँ मैंने भी प्यार किया. He played the role as a blind man in Vikul, starring Amitabh Bachchan, Arjun Rampal, Aditya Panchali, Sushmita Sen and Paresh Rawal. His performance in the film was critically acclaimed. Next, he starred in the Vikram Bhatt directed comedy Avara Pagal Divana. Radiff.com's review of the film mentioned that his sincerity and intensity is seen in Hera Fairy, Ek Rishta, The Bond of Love, and Aankhein seems missing. 'His last film of the year was Rajkumar Kohli directed supernatural horror film Jani Dushman, Ek Anokhi Kahani, alongside Manisha Koirala, Sunil Shetty, Sunny Deol, Aftab Sivadasani, Arshad Varsi, Aditya Pancholi, and Arman Kohli. The film was a remake of Kohli's former film Nagin and received mostly negative reviews from critics. Taran Adarsh wrote only Monish, Arman Kohli, and Akshay Kumar leave an impact. In 2003, he starred in sequel Darshan's action film Talash The Hunt Begins opposite Kareena Kapoor. While reviewing the film, Taran Adarsh wrote, Akshay Kumar is plain mediocre. The role hardly offers him scope to try out anything different. Next, he starred in Raj Kanwar directed romantic drama Andaz alongside Priyanka Chopra and Lara Dutta. The film received mixed reviews from critics but turned out to be a commercial success at the box office and the first universal hit of 2003. 2004, Kumar starred in Rajkumar Santosi's action drama thriller Keh Ke alongside Amitabh Bachchan, Ajay Devgan and Aishwarya Rai. Kumar played the role of Inspector Shekhar Verma, a corrupt, morally bankrupt cop who changes himself during a mission to transfer an accused Pakistani spy Dr. Iqbal Ansari, played by Atul Kulkarni, from a remote town in Maharashtra to Mumbai. The film and Kumar's acting were positively reviewed by critics. He was nominated for the Filmfare Best Supporting Actor award for his role in the film. His other releases included Dilip Shukla's crime film Police Force: An Inside Story. He starred alongside Raveena Tandon, Amrish Puri and Raj Babbar. The film's production was delayed following the breakup of the lead actors Tandon and Kumar. Upon release, it received negative reviews from critics. Next, Kumar played Hariom Patnaik, an IPS officer in Madhur Bhandarkar, directed on Man Network. He starred in David Dhawan, directed romantic comedy Murshe Shadi Karo, alongside Salman Khan and Parineeti Chopra. He played the role of Sunny, Sameer, played by Khan's roommate, who pursues Rani, played by Chopra, Sameer's love interest. The film received positive reviews. Taran others praised Kumar and wrote, "Kumar is a revelation. He surpasses his previous work. His timing is fantastic, and the conviction with which he carries off the evil streak in his personality is bound to be talked about in days to come." His performance in the film earned him his third nomination for Supporting Actor at the Filmfare Awards, as well as a nomination for Best Comic Role. His other films included Abbas Mustan directed Aitraz and S.M. Iqbal's Meri Biwi Ka Jawab Nahi. In the former, Kumar played against type as a worker wrongly accused of sexual harassment by his female boss played by Chopra. According to the directors, Aitraz was inspired by National Basketball Association player Kobe Bryant, who was accused of rape by a fan, and the film's development began when they read about his sexual assault case in the newspaper. Talking about the character, Kumar said that it is realistic and could be described as a new age metrosexual man. He added that Aitraz was the boldest film he had done. In the latter, he starred opposite Sridevi. The film was shot in 1994 but was released in 2004 after a delay of 10 years. The next year, Kumar starred in Dharmesh Darshan directed romantic drama musical film Bewafa opposite Kareena Kapoor. He played the role of Raja, an aspiring musician who pursues his love interest Anjali, played by Kareena Kapoor, even after she is married to Aditya Sahai, played by Anil Kapoor. The film received mixed reviews from film critics, but Kumar was praised for his acting. Anupama Chopra for India Today wrote that Kareena Kapoor and Kumar stand out. Tharan others wrote Akshay Kumar does well in roles that films fits him like a glove. Later that year, he acted in Vipul Amruchal Shah's family drama Waqt, The Race Against Time, alongside Amitabh Bachchan. Another Priyadarshan directed comedy Garam Masala alongside John Abraham. Waqt, The Race Against Time was a family drama film. The film and Kumar's acting received mixed reviews. Vishal D'Souza wrote Akshay Soldiers, an author-baked role, having more of the film's emotional baggage Though he is distinctly uncomfortable in the soapy, wappy scene, the film succeeded at the box office, and his performance in the latter earned him his second Filmfare Award for Best Comedian. His other films included Vikram Bhatt directed action comedy romance film Deewane Hue Pagal, and Sunil Darshan directed romantic drama Dosti Friends Forever. In the former, he starred alongside Shahid Kapoor, Sunil Shetty, and Rimi Sen, while in the later he starred alongside Kareena Kapoor and Bobby Deol. Both of these films received positive reviews. Kumar's first release of 2006 was Rajkumar Santoshi directed drama Family Ties of Blood, followed by Sunil Darshan's Mere Jeevan Saathi and Raj Kanwar's Humko Deewana Kar Gaye. Next, he starred in a sequel to Hera Fairy titled Fir Hera Fairy. As was the former, the sequel became a huge success at the box office. Later that year, he starred alongside Salman Khan and Preeti Zinta in the Shirish Kundar directed romantic musical film Jaan E Man. The film was a well-anticipated release, and despite receiving positive reviews from critics, did not do as well as expected at the box office. The film received mostly negatively reviews. Vidya Pradhan of Rediff.com called it a bizarre movie. Though the film underperformed, his role as a shy, lovable was praised. He ended the year with Priyadarshan's comedy murder mystery film Bhagam Bhag. He starred alongside Lara Datta, Govinda and Paresh Rawal and played the character of a theatre actor. The film received mixed reviews, and Reddit.com called Kumar the real hero of the film. The film was commercially successful. The same year, he led the Heat 2006 World Tour along with fellow stars Saif Ali Khan, Preeti Zinta, Sushmita Sen, and Selena Jetli. 2007 proved to be Kumar's most successful year during his career in the industry, and as described by box office analysts, probably the best ever recorded by an actor, with 4 outright hits and no flops. His first release, Vipul Amrital Shah directed Namaste London, was critically and commercially successful, and his performance earned him a Best Actor nomination at the Filmfare. Kritik Taranadar wrote of his performance in the film, "He is sure to win the hearts of millions of moviegoers with a terrific portrayal in this film." Kumar's chemistry with lead actress Katrina Kaif also generated immense appreciation, with Nikhat Kazmi of the Times of India describing their pairing as refreshing. His next 2 releases, Sajid Khan directed Hey Baby and Priyadarshan's Bhool Bhulaiya, were box office success as well. In both of these films, he starred opposite Vidya Balan. Kumar's last release of the year, the Anis Bazmi's directed Welcome, did extremely well at the box office, receiving a blockbuster status and simultaneously becoming his 5th successive hit. All of Kumar's films which released that year did well in the overseas market as well. Kumar appeared in a cameo role in Farah Khan directed Om Shanti Om. His role was listed as number 3 on the top 10 cameos. In in Bollywood list of mensxp.com. Kumar's first film of 2008, Vijay Krishna Acharya, directed action thriller Tashan, marked his comeback to the Yes Raj Films banner after 11 years. Although a poll conducted by Bollywood Hungama named it the most anticipated release of the year, the film underperformed at the box office, grossing rupees 279 million, 3.9 million US dollar in India. Its second film, Bazme, directed Singh is King, in which he starred opposite Kaif, was a huge success at the box office and broke the first week worldwide record of Om Shanti Om, the previous highest figure. His next film was the animated film Jumbo, directed by Kompin Kamgunarid. The year also saw Kumar making his small screen debut as the host of the successful show Fear Factor Khatron Ke Khiladi. He later returned to host the show's second season in 2009. 2009, Kumar featured opposite In 2009, Kumar featured opposite Deepika Padukone in the Warner Bros. And Rohan Sippy production, Chandni Chowk to China. Directed by Nikhil Advani, the film was critical and commercially failure at the box office. Kumar's next release was 8 into 10 Tasveer, an action thriller directed by Nagesh Kukunur that failed commercially. His next release was Sabir Khan's Battle of the Sexes, comedy cum Bakhat Ishq set in Los Angeles. It was the first Indian film to be shot at Universal Studios and featured cameo appearances by Hollywood actors. The film was poorly received by critics but became an economic success, earning over rupees 840 million, 12 million US dollar worldwide. Kumar's film Blue was released on 16 October 2009. Blue received negative reviews and collected about rupees 420 million at the box office. His last release in 2009 was Priyadarshan's De Danadan. He starred alongside Katrina Kaif, Sunil Shetty, and Paresh Rawal. Kumar played a servant who plans to kidnap his owner's dog. The film received mixed reviews. He then appeared in 2010 comedy Houseful, directed by Sajid Khan, which garnered the second highest opening weekend collection of all time. Kumar's next release was Khatta Meetha, directed by Priyadarshan, which was an average grosser. The film received negative reviews. Rajiv Masand of CNN-IBN called it a schizophrenic film. He also appeared in a Vipul Shah's action replay, which was a box office failure. The film received mostly negative reviews. His last film of 2010 was Tismar Khan, directed by Farhan Khan. The film received poor critical reviews and turned out to be commercial failure. In 2011, he starred in Patiala House and Thank You, His last film of 2011 was Rohit Dhawan directed Desi Boys 2011, which co-starred Johan Abraham, Chitrangada Singh, and Deepika Padukone. He also co-produced a film with Russell Peters titled Breakaway, dubbed into Hindi as Speedy Sings, which is reminiscent of his own Patiala house. Breakaway became the highest grossing cross-culture movie of 2011 in Canada. Kumar dubbed for the role of Optimus Prime and the Hindi version of Hollywood action blockbuster Transformers Dark of the Moon. He took the dubbing roles for his son Arav and did so for free. His first release of 2012 was Houseful 2, a sequel of his earlier comedy film Houseful. The film received mixed reviews from critics but was very successful at the box office. It was also a huge hit in overseas market and the biggest Bollywood grosser in New Zealand. Kumar's next film was the Prabhudeva directed action drama Rowdy Rathod, in which he played a double role opposite Sonakshi Sinha. The film earned more than 1.3 billion rupees, 18 million US dollar in India, and was a huge box office success. Being declared a blockbuster, both of these films grossed over rupees 1 billion 14 million US dollar at the box office, although the former film received mixed reviews. Kumar's performance in it was praised. In 2012, he founded another production company called Grazing Goat Picture Private Limited. Joker was reportedly promoted as Kumar's 100th film, but later Akshay Kumar clarified that the 100th film landmark had been crossed long before he even signed up for Joker. It was a miscalculation on Shirish's part. OMG is my 116th film, he said. Kumar kept himself away from film for promotion due to differences with Kundar. Reacting to Kumar's backing out from the film's promotion, Kundar tweeted, "A true leader takes responsibility for his team and leads them through thick and thin, never abandons them and runs away." He later deleted the tweet as later releases Oh My God, which he produced and starred along with Paresh Rawal. It had a slow opening, but because of word of mouth, it picked up and then was declared a super hit. His last release in 2012 was Khiladi 786, the 8th installment in his famous Khiladi series, as well as the comeback of the series after 12 years. Although film was panned by critics, it was a semi-hit at the box office, grossing 700 million at domestic box office. His first release in 2013 was Special Chabis, which earned a positive critical reception and was moderately successful at the box office, although the movie earned him positive reviews and commercial success. Trade analysts noted that the movie could have done much better business due to its good content and Kumar's high profile. Milan Luthria chose Kumar to play the character of Sohib Khan based on Dawood Ibrahim in the gangster film Once Upon a Time in Mumbai Dobara, sequel to Once Upon a Time in Mumbai. It proved to be a below average at the box office. The film was declared a flop by Box Office India. It received mixed reviews, however. Kumar's acting was praised by a majority of critics. In a review for Hindustan Times, Anupama Chopra wrote that Kumar makes a stellar killer. Madhurita Mukherjee of the Times of India praised Kumar's performance and said that Bhai acts with flamboyance and mojo. He gets a chance to do what he does best, herogiri, ablet less menacing, more entertaining, with charisma and claptrap dialogue baji. All Pacino saw the film's trailer and promos and admired Kumar's portrayal of Sohib Khan, a gangster. He said that the promos of posters reminded him of his own The Godfather. Kumar said of Pacino's response, a touch of appreciation is always held dearly in an actor's arms, even if it's from the simplest of people like our beloved sport boys. But to have your work spoken of so kindly by the world's most admired gangster, A.I. Pacino himself. I had goosebumps thinking about him watching the promo. I was so humbled, not only as an actor but as a fan of his legendary work. Rajiv Masam of CNN-IBN criticized Kumar for his in-your-face flamboyance. After the film's mainly negative reviews, Kumar lashed out at critics, accusing them of lacking an understanding of the audience and the basic ideas of filmmaking built on an approximate budget of Rs 1 billion, 14 million US dollar. It was the first major Hindi language film to be shot in Oman. Kumar received a nomination for Best Actor in a Negative Role at G Cine Awards. His next release was Anthony D'Souza's Boss alongside Shiv Pandit and Aditi Rao Hadari. The movie received average to good reviews, however turned out to be a failure at box office, grossing 54 crore net domestically. Kumar came back strongly with Holiday, A Soldier is Never Off Duty, with the Hindi remake of the 2012 Tamil film Tupakki. This action drama earned both critical and commercial success, entering the 1 billion elite club and becoming the highest grosser of 2014. The film received critical acclaim and is Kumar's third film to gross over Rs 1 billion, 14 million US dollar at the box office. Kumar has sung a song for his recent film It's Entertainment. Making of the song has been uploaded on YouTube. His last film of 2014 was The Shawkeens. He appeared as himself and produced it. He played the lead role in the thriller Baby and Gabbar is Back. Kumar's first collaboration with Karan Johar Brothers was released on 14 August 2015. His next release was Sing Is Bling was released on 2 October 2015 and is produced by Grazing Gods Pictures. His first release was Airlift, released on 22 January 2016, was critically and commercially successful, and Second Houseful 3 was released on 3 June 2016. Namaste England, sequel to Namaste London, has been announced. Rustom, which was produced by Neeraj Pandey and marked his third release of 2016. Akshay was praised for his performance in Rustom, earned him the National Film Award for Best Actor. His only film released in 2017 was Toilet Ek Prem Katha. The film depicted the serious issue of toilets in certain regions of the country. Akshay's performance was praised. Akshay Kumar dug a toilet in Madhya Pradesh to promote the film. The movie trailer was released on 11 June 2017. PM Modi called it a good effort to further the message of cleanliness as per Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. 2018, Akshay starred in the social drama film Padman alongside Sonam Kapoor and Radhika Apte. He later made his Tamil cinema debut in the science fiction thriller 2.0 co-starring Rajinikanth, in which he played an evil ornithologist named Pakshirazam. In 2019, Kumar appeared in Karan Johar's film Kesari opposite Parineeti Chopra. Based on the story of the Battle of Saragadi, the film grossed over rupees 200 crore, 28 million US dollar worldwide. He is featuring in Mission Mangal with an ensemble cast of Vidya Balan, Taapsee Pannu, Nithya Menon, Sharman Joshi, and Sonakshi Sinha. The film is about the story of scientists at Indian Space Research Organization who contributed to the Mars Orbiter mission, which marked India's first interplanetary expedition. Houseful 4, directed by Farhad Samji, was released in October 2019. His next release in December 2019 was Karan Johar's and his own production Good News, romantic comedy about surrogacy opposite Kareena Kapoor Khan. As of December 2019, his upcoming films are Lakshmi Bomb, directed by Raghava Lawrence, a remake of the Tamil horror comedy film Kanchana 2 2015, Suryavanshi, directed by Rohit Shetty, and Yash Raj films Prithviraj, which are releasing in 2020. After being engaged twice, two actresses, Twinkle Khanna, the daughter of actor Rajesh Khanna, and Dimple Kapadia, Kumar married her on 17 January 2001. Together they have a son Arav and daughter Nitara. He is known as a protective father and keeps his children away from the media. He stated that he wants to give them a normal childhood. In 2009, while performing at a show for Levi's at Lakme Fashion Week, Kumar asked Twinkle to unbutton his jeans. The incident sparked a controversy which led to a police case being filed against them. Kumar stays in shape with a combination of kickboxing, basketball, swimming and parkour as well as working out. While in standard 8th, he had started practicing karate. He intended to open a martial arts school and the state government of Maharashtra allotted land for the school in Bhayandar in 2004. He was honored with the Rajiv Gandhi Award for his outstanding achievements in Bollywood. In the same year, he presented the television series 7 Deadly Arts with Akshay Kumar for free. The following year, Kumar was awarded the highest Japanese honor of Katana and 6th degree black belt in Tokai Goju Ryu Karate. Akshay has a close ties to Canada, where he received an honorary doctorate degree from the University of Windsor and has taken Canadian citizenship. While he claims dual citizenship, he is likely an overseas citizen of India based on the fact that the Constitution of India prohibits dual citizenships. He was one of the 15 international celebrities invited for the Olympics torch-bearer rally to Canada. He became responsible to endorse the Canadian tourism by sharing the duty of brand ambassador until the summer of 2012. In March 2013, he started a 30-bed cancer shelter for policemen in Aizone. Kumar was initially a religious, practicing Shaiva Hindu who regularly visited shrines and temples across the country, including the famed Vaishno Devi Mandir. But in March 2020, he stated, "I don't believe in any religion, I only believe in Big India." He is a teetotaler but has endorsed for a liquor brand in the past. Half of the sum was given for Daan, charity work, of which he has been doing more of in recent times. He has also donated rupees 5 million, 70,000 US dollars to Salman Khan's Being Human Foundation. As of 2013, Kumar has been the Hindi film industry's highest advance taxpayer for 6 consecutive years. He paid rupees 190 million, 2.7 US dollars as advance tax payment in the year. In 1997, Kumar endorsed for Pepsi. He previously endorsed for Thumbs Up for several years. He had also endorsed for Honda motorcycles and scooters India, footwear brand Relaxo, Dollar Club, Micromax Mobile, Red Label, LG Electronics, and Monochrome Gold Loan. On 9 August 2014, Kumar performed at his 500th live show. The show was held in O2 Arena in London as part of the inaugural function of the World Kabaddi League. His first live show was held in 1991 in Delhi. Kumar owns a team in the Kabaddi League. He helped Khanna with editing the drafts of her debut books, Mrs. Funny Bones. Kumar also had donated a sum of rupees 9 million to drought-hit farmers in Maharashtra in 2015. He also donated rupees 5 million to aid drought-affected people through the Maharashtra government's Jalayukt Shivar Abhiyan. On 9 April 2017, Kumar and the Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh promoted a mobile phone app, Bharat Ke Veer, which allows users to donate money to families of people who sacrificed their lives for India. Again, on 20 January 2018, he participated in the launch of an anthem for the initiative and an event in Delhi. He appealed for people to donate the Bharat Ke Veer cause, and rupees 12.93 crore was collected. December 2019, Kumar revealed that he has appealed for an Indian passport and plans to give up his Canadian citizenship. He stated, "I have now applied for the passport. I am an Indian and it hurts me that I'm asked to prove that every time my wife, my children are Indian. I pay my taxes here and my life is here," further revealing his reason for earlier changing his nationality as a Canadian. He said, "There was a time when I had 14 flops in a row and I was wondering what to do. One of my closest friends who stays in Canada told me, 'Come here and we will work together.' I started the process to get a Canadian passport because I felt my career was finished and I won't get more work here. But my 15th film occurred and I never looked back. I never thought of changing my passport." Kumar has been recipient of 2 Filmfare Awards from 13 nominations: Best Villain for Ajnabi 2002 and Best Comedian for Garam Masala 2006, and a National Film Award for Best Actor for the films Rustam and Airlift, both 2016. In 2008, the University of Windsor conferred an honorary doctorate of law on Kumar in recognition of his contribution to Indian cinema. The following year, he was awarded the Padma Shri by the Government of India. The Asian Awards honored Kumar for his outstanding achievement in cinema. Parineeti Chopra, born 22 October 1988, is an Indian actress and singer who appears in Hindi films. Chopra is a recipient of several accolades, including a Filmfare and National Film Award. She initially aspired to pursue a career in investment banking, but after obtaining a triple honors degree in business, finance, and economics from Manchester Business School, she returned to India during the 2009 economic recession and joined Yash Raj Films as a public relations consultant. She has been appearing in Forbes India's Celebrity 100 list since 2013. Chopra made her acting debut with the company's 2011 romantic comedy Ladies vs. Ricky Bell, winning the Filmfare Award for Best Female Debut. She followed it by gaining praise for her starring roles in the box office hits Ishq Jade 2012, Sudesh Desi Romance 2013, and Hase To Fase 2014. The first of these won her the National Film Award Special Mention, while the first two of these earned her two nominations for the Filmfare Award for Best Actress after a 3-year hiatus from full-time acting. She starred in the comedy Golmaal Again 2017 and the war drama Kesari 2019. During this period, she also starred in 3 unsuccessful films, including Namaste England 2018. In addition to her acting career, Chopra is a humanitarian and is a prominent celebrity endorser for brands and products. She has sung 3 of her songs, including Manna Ke Hum Yaar Nahi, which garnered her praise. Parineeti Chopra was born on 22 October 1988 in Ambala. Haryana into a Punjabi family. Her father, Pawan Chopra, is a businessman and a supplier to the Indian Army at Ambala Cantonment, and her mother is Reena Chopra. She has 2 brothers, Shivang and Shahaj. Actress Priyanka Chopra, Meera Chopra, and Mannara Chopra are her cousins. Chopra studied at the Convent of Jesus and Mary, Ambala. In an interview published in The Hindu, she revealed that she was a very good student and had always wanted to become an investment banker. At the age of 17, Chopra moved to England, where she received a triple honors degree in business, finance, and economics from Manchester Business School. She used to take orientation classes for new students at the university. While studying, she worked part-time for the Manchester United Football Club as the team leader of the catering department. Chopra is also a trained Hindustani classical singer with a BA honors in music. She used to perform on stage with her cousin Priyanka and their fathers in her childhood. In 2009, she returned to India in the wake of the economic recession and moved to Mumbai to stay with Priyanka. During a visit to Yes Raj Film Studio, Priyanka, who was filming for Pyar Impossible, introduced Parineeti to head of the public relations team of the company. Chopra obtained an internship in the marketing department, joining the production company as a public relations consultant. She considered it a perfect job because she could use what she had learned and work in films. Chopra had disliked actors and acting to her. The profession seemed like an excuse to wear too much makeup. This changed when she observed Priyanka's preparation for her role in Seven Kunma 2011, which highly influenced her and changed her perception towards acting and actors. Once she learned more about filmmaking, her respect for the profession increased. While working on promotion for Band Baja Barat, Chopra realized that she wanted to become an actress and decided to resign from her executive position with Yes Raj Films to attend acting schools. Film director Manish Sharma suggested singing Chopra to Aditya Chopra, chairman of Yes Raj Films, appalled by the idea of recruiting someone from his marketing team as an actress. Device leaving her job to attend acting school, he advised her to meet the company's casting director, who asked her to do a dummy audition for fun. Chopra remembered fooling around with a camera and delivering lines by character Geet from the film Jab We Met, never expecting producer Aditya Chopra to see the tape. However, when the producer saw the tape, he was impressed with her acting, with Sharma describing her phenomenal in the screen test. Chopra was signed a 3-film deal. Chopra's colleagues later told her she was a misfit in an office situation. In 2011, Chopra made her screen debut in the romantic comedy Ladies vs. Ricky Bhatt and supporting role with Ranveer Singh and Anushka Sharma. The film describes how three girls who are tricked by a con artist take revenge on him by plotting the same trick for him. Chopra played the Delhi-based rich and spoiled brat Dimple Chadha, who is betrayed by the film's central character. The film received mixed reviews from critics and was moderately successful at the box office. Chopra's performance was highly praised by film critics. Komal Natha said of the three other girls, Parineeti Chopra is undoubtedly the best. She has the best role, the best lines, and hers is the best performance among the three. Priyanka Roy of The Telegraph described Chopra as natural and brought among the ladies. Debutant Parineeti almost steals the show from Anushka. The film earned her several awards, including the Filmfare Award, the Screen Award, the Producers Guild Film Award, and the IIFA Award for Best Debut. Chopra also received nomination in the Supporting Actress category, including Filmfare, and won the Producers Guild and IIFA awards in the same category. Chopra's second release was Habib Faisal romantic drama Ishq Jade, in which she played a leading role opposite Arjun Kapoor.